What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Early Bird Fly Through. Happy Tuesday, man. Um, Hope y'all made it all right through the ice storm or whatever you got. You got snow, whatever. Still in the house for today, man. Don't have a whole lot going on, so that is why, at least today. So that is why I was able to go live
Imagine
for
being able to
this
build an
press
app with your
conference.
name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base
That is the
44,
press
a
conference
complete
playing
AI creation platform.
in the.
Describe what you want and watch it take shape.
All right, let's get that out of here. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'll put that on mute for right now, but do want to talk about obviously we will be reacting live to head coach Kevin Stefanski's introductory press conference. Getting that link ready for y'all to join us, do a little watch along of this press conference, get all of our thoughts out. Um, and that's what we're going to do here today. But make sure y'all like and subscribe and comment and share out. Support the channel any way you can. Because as you all know, this is a very big day for the Atlanta Falcons. So we're gonna react to this press conference here, and just make sure that y'all show support. Once again, hit the like, comment, subscribe, share. I especially encourage y'all to share out, and then of course, maybe you have a dollar or two to spare. You can always hit up the Venmo as well. Um, but I do want to obviously. How do I? Is there a way? Let me go ahead and get this volume turned down just a little bit. Let's see if there's a way for me to do that. But it should be starting soon. So one of the things I really feel like is we're going to learn today, with as every press conference, is going to be just it's not going to. They're obviously not going to reveal everything. It's more so an introduction. It's more so going to be just Kevin Stefanski getting a feeling for what the media in Atlanta is like. So I mean, he's going to be able to meet D-Led for the first time today. So that's going to definitely be interesting. Maybe the Twitter incident with Baker Mayfield will be brought up at this press conference. But it is expected to be Kevin Stefanski, of course, joined along by Arthur Blank and Matt Ryan. So we're gonna hopefully get this thing off and running soon. Hopefully there's no delay. It's 12 o'clock right now. So just make sure. Let me do a quick check here. And just make sure. Here, let me see. Because I can hear it on my end. I want to make sure if y'all are watching, y'all can hear the press conference. Comment, subscribe, share. I especially. So, yeah. Okay. So we're just waiting on this press conference to begin right now. It is also, I think, worth noting, obviously, the Atlanta Falcons have not hired a general manager as of yet. I would hope we're going to get an update on that today, but we're going to really have to, we're going to have to see. So that is very much going to be one of the main topics. But really, at the end of the day, I'm just kind of here to listen to what Kevin Stefanski has to say. It's getting ready to get started, and we're about to get off and running soon. They're at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, so if y'all cannot hear it on watching, you can always join the link, and hopefully you're able to hear it watching through if you join us up on panel. But it does appear like this press conference is getting ready to start any second now. And let's see. Okay. Remember, y'all can hit that link. You can hit that link and join the conversation.
Good to see you guys.
Okay.
Quick housekeeping real quick. We'll start with the opening statement from Matt Ryan.
Who's that? That OG?
Yeah, what's up, man?
What's up? What's up? Can you hear it?
Matt?
Yeah, I'm
All right,
looking
thank
at it.
you,
I'm kind of
for
watching on
everyone
enough
coming
of the
out
live
today.
too.
We're
So
excited
we
to
good.
be here. Before we get started, I just want to say a big thank you to our search committee and everybody on it. The last couple of weeks, these guys and women have been working tirelessly.
Let me know if there's an issue. There ain't an issue so far, is there?
Set up interviews and conduct the
Nah, it
interviews.
sounds
They've done an
good, man.
amazing
Everything
job. We're
looks
still
good.
going at it on the GM front. But a big thank you to everybody for their effort and their dedication and attention to detail. A little bit of an update on the general manager position. We've completed a number of interviews up until this point. We're excited about the process. We're excited about the progress. And we've got some in-person interviews coming up in the near future. So that's where we stand on that. Now to why we're here. When we set out on this search process, the committee, talked a lot about what is the vision for our organization moving forward. What is the football going to look like? And one of the things we said, not one of the things, but the main thing was we wanted a detailed, tough, physical football team. On offense, we want an offense that has the ability to run the football, that is going to be explosive with the pass game off of the run. On defense, we're going to stop the run. We're going to be physical against the run. In the pass game, we're going to affect the quarterback physically, and we're going to affect him mentally as well, with disguise, with the way that we play coverage. And then on special teams, we were looking for a unit that was incredibly detailed, that plays with great effort and strain. So it really set up the format for what we were looking for from the head coaching candidates that we spoke to. During that process, we interviewed some incredible people, some coaches that I have a tremendous amount of respect for. But throughout that process, Kevin separated himself. And he separated himself, number one, in the alignment of vision for the football team. He wants smart, tough, highly competitive players and coaches that are open to being held accountable and holding each other accountable. He's an excellent communicator. He's clear, he's concise, and he's direct. And I think that style of communication lends to connection, which is so huge amongst players and coaches, but also coaches and coaches. And I think we're seeing that in the staff that Kevin's putting together. We're really excited about Tommy Rees, young offensive coordinator, and what he can bring to our team. We're really excited about Craig Ackerman, who's coming in and has a history of playing.
That's right.
Really
They did hire
solid
special teams
in his
coordinator
different
yesterday.
styles. And then we're excited about retaining Jeff Ulbrich as the defensive coordinator. He is a great coach who I've been around as a player and watched and commented and seen from a different lens as a defensive coordinator.
Looking for tax help?
Shit.
Now there are TurboTax experts right in your neighborhood.
Man,
They
you
get to
better
know
get
your
this
unique
ad the fuck up
situation
off
and
here.
get you every dollar you deserve. So hand off
Oh,
your
I thought
taxes
I
to
thought
a
that was
local
me.
TurboTax expert today.
All right.
Am I still in there?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I had to switch devices.
Okay.
To get a really strong staff around him. We don't do this by ourselves. We do this with the collective. So we're excited about that. And then the last thing is we were really excited about Kevin's entire lived coaching experience, from his start in Minnesota and all of the different things that he did there to his time in Cleveland. The ups, the downs, the highs, and the lows. I know that as a player, I learned from both. I learned from the success and I learned from the struggles. And I was a better player as I got older as a result of both of those. So with Kevin, we land a head coach who's accomplished a lot, a two-time NFL Coach of the Year. We also get someone who's hungry, highly motivated, resilient, with a lot to prove. We're so excited to welcome Kevin Stefanski as the Atlanta Falcons head coach.
Thanks, man. Appreciate
There
that.
it is.
Thank you. You
A
I'm
lot to
beyond
prove.
thrilled
Where-
to be the head coach.
Where's
of the
Mr.
Atlanta
Blank at,
Falcons.
though?
Thank you, Arthur. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Greg, for entrusting your football team to me.
We're going to talk
I'm so excited
about
to be
that.
here. My family and I, my family is here. My family has felt the warmth from this city and this community.
Beautiful
And
family,
on
by
that
the
note,
way. Saw them walking in
I'll
earlier
sit
today.
up
The
here and I
video.
will take the
Beautiful
blame
family.
when it's appropriate. I'm not taking the blame for the weather out there right now. Okay? I had nothing to do with that. I did not bring that with me. So I wanted to clear that up on the front end of this. But seriously, the fans in this town, so passionate. It's real. I felt it. I've met them out there. I cannot wait to be in this building and feel this place shaking. I can't wait for that, and I know what this place is about. And Matt and I have talked about what this place is about when this building's rocking. This is a special place. Atlanta's where I wanted to be. I wanted to be here. There was a pull to this job and a pull to this city, and it really started right at the top. It's Arthur Blank and Matt Ryan. Arthur and I share very similar values of how to treat people.
Damn it. Shit.
People.
Come on, Dirty
Okay.
Bird.
He will
Fly through.
create
Hey,
an environment,
back
an
on
opportunity
track.
to win. And then Matt Ryan. I've
I'm going to get on my
known
other
Matt a long
device and
time.
get in the chat.
I've known of
Yeah.
Matt a very, very long time. I know what he's made of. I know what he's about. I know where he's from, literally. But I also know what is important to him. And what's important to Matt is winning. And I know sitting with Matt and sitting with the general manager, we'll be aligned in that vision of putting together a football team where winning is at the forefront of everything we do. As Matt mentioned, we're putting a staff together that I'm very, very excited about. Putting a staff together is like a puzzle. All those pieces matter. There's some.
Here we go again.
Putting a staff together is like a puzzle. All those pieces matter. There's some really big pieces, but all the pieces matter. I'm excited about some of the pieces that we've put together already. I'm happy to talk to you about those coaches today that I'm very excited about. But every role, every job on a coaching staff matters because it's our job to develop our football players. The easy thing is to talk about it. It's very, very easy to sit up here and talk about it. We will be about that work. We will put in the work, and it's going to be hard work. We'll put in the work to being a smart football team, to playing a smart brand of football. We will earn that toughness. I believe that physicality and playing this style of football is earned, and we will earn that. I cannot wait until April 7th. That's when we start the offseason program. I can't wait to get our players in the building. I've spoken to a lot of our players. There's still phone calls I need to make, and I'm getting through it. But having talked to our guys, I can't tell you how excited I am to talk and to coach this roster, how talented some of these young players are. I know this as coaches. We can't wait to develop these players, and we can't wait to help these players become the best versions of themselves. So cannot tell you how excited I am to be here. Thank you for welcoming me and welcoming my family. And with that, I'll take any questions.
Questions, raise your hands. We'll get a mic to you. D-Led, followed by Kelly and Bailey.
Yeah, Coach. What's your assessment of the quarterback situation here, and could you discuss your relationship and time with Kirk Cousins in Minnesota?
Sure. I think with anything roster
He
related,
led.
obviously we'll be hiring a general manager soon, and that's why I mentioned
Can't
with
do it.
Matt, the general manager, myself, we can put our heads together and look at our roster, and that includes every single position, not just the quarterback position. I will tell you, obviously, Michael is somebody I'm very excited about, and his rehab is what's most important right now. And I saw him in the training room this week. He's, as you can imagine, attacking his rehab. And then when it comes to Kirk, obviously I have a previous relationship with Kirk, but I don't know if it's the time yet to talk about all positions and those type of things, but those type of conversations will come in due time.
Okay, that tells
Hey,
something.
Kevin, Kelly Price from Fox 5. Welcome to Atlanta.
Thank you.
With Cleveland and coming here,
They
what do you
say
think is
welcome
gonna
to
be
Atlanta.
different this time around, and what did you specifically learn from your time head coaching there?
Yeah, thanks, Kelly. I think, like Matt said, this career in this business, it's sometimes you have to navigate tough times, and I certainly have seen my tough times, and I feel like I'm a better coach on the other side of that. And I, like Matt mentioned, I want to learn from all those things. I hope that there's things that I learned on a day-to-day basis. I hope there's big picture things that I've learned and taken from that. So really excited about where I am, but I wouldn't change anything about the past.
Bailey on your right.
Bailey Burmaster, sports director at Atlanta News First. Welcome, Kevin. Accountability is a word that has been used a lot through this interview process. I'm curious, from your time in Cleveland as a head coach, how you feel you best demonstrate accountability with not only your coaches, but your players as well.
Thanks, Bailey. I would tell you that when it comes to accountability or culture, it's really my job to enable a program and put guardrails, if you will, with the program. But the best accountability comes from the locker room, and I believe it is player-driven. And I think Matt's been a part of that in his NFL career in these locker rooms. So I will certainly put a structure together for our players, for our coaches to hold each other accountable. But at the end of the day, a player-driven culture is what we will have.
Tori on the aisle to the left.
Hi, Kevin. Tori McElhaney, AtlantaFalcons.com. Curious about how you're going to structure your offensive staff. Will you be calling plays? And also, can you speak to Tommy Reese and working with him the last couple of years?
Sure. Thanks, Tori. Tommy will call plays.
Oh, my
That's
God.
a setup that I'm very, very comfortable with. I think he's an outstanding football coach. He's young, but I don't know if you always measure
I don't like
experience
that.
just
What do you
in
think,
years.
OG?
I think he's had unbelievable experiences in his young career. He's somebody that I trust. We see the game similarly, but we also push each other because we're different. So Tommy will head up that offensive staff. I'm excited about some of the people we've been able to bring in already to this group, and I have the utmost confidence in Tommy.
Mark Armandi on your left.
Hey, Kevin, over here. Mark Armandi from ESPN. Matt was talking about the vision and how you guys
I think he's throwing a
like. Just in your own words, what is the
diversion
vision from your perspective?
Yeah, Mark, I think Matt outlined some of the things that are important to us. Playing a physical brand of football is really important. If you want to win in December and January and into February, you have to play that style, as we have all seen over the course of these playoffs. So understanding that we have to be multiple and versatile in everything we do, and that's offense, and that's defense, and that's special teams. But at the end of the day, we want to play a physical brand of football.
Joe Patrick on your right.
Kevin, Joe Patrick, 99 The Game. It's been reported that you've been in some of the GM interviews or conversations. Can you talk about whether that's true and what your role has been in those conversations and how you foresee that relationship given Atlanta's front office structure?
Thanks, Joe. I'm here to support Matt and everybody throughout this search. Obviously, tried to give my insight to Matt and everybody as they continue to talk to different candidates. I'm excited to partner with that candidate, and like Matt mentioned, we'll have some more time to spend with those candidates and share a vision for how we see this football team. And I have no doubt with the people that we've spoken to already that we're well on our way in that process.
We'll go Allison, center column to the left, and then Garrett in front of her.
Hey, Kevin, Allison Mastrangelo, Channel 2 in Atlanta. Welcome to Atlanta.
Thank you.
You're joining a team that has 8 straight losing seasons and a franchise that is hungry for playoffs and the Super Bowl. So what makes you believe that you're the right guy for the job and can not only do that, but do it very quickly?
Thanks, Allison. I'm here because I believe in this group. I believe in this roster. I believe, like I mentioned, in what Arthur and Matt have put together already. I promise you this, we will work. We're not going to spend a lot of time talking about what we're going to do. We're just going to keep our head down and work.
Garrett Chapman.
Welcome to Atlanta. Garrett Chapman with Falcons on SI. Brian Callahan was one of the first coaches that you hired. What does he bring to your staff?
Bill.
Or Bill Callahan, excuse me,
no
not
problem.
Brian, excuse me. Bill Callahan, one of the first coaches you hired, you brought to the staff. What does he bring to this team, and is Arthur Blank good on the grill?
I'm sorry, last part?
Arthur Blank, I mean, it said that he was cooking you guys steaks during the whole process.
He was outstanding.
Yes. You have another career, Arthur, if you want it. Bill Callahan is somebody, I hired Bill in 2020.
Like we were talking
I
about.
didn't know Bill prior to that.
We're going to have to hit up
Some
Mr.
mutual
Blank to
friends,
do
if
some
you will,
catering.
in the profession, but I got to witness Bill
Yes, sir.
up close and personal for 4
But they own
seasons
Home
there
Depot.
and
He
watch
sells
how
a lot of
worked,
grills.
how
I'm
he
pretty
develops
sure he
players.
Oh, yeah.
He's the best in the business.
Flips a few.
We are thrilled that we're able to add Bill to this group. He's somebody that I lean on, being a former head coach himself, somebody that has been just a great partner for me in our season. So just thrilled to have him.
Go Mark Zeno on the aisle to the right.
Hey, Kevin, Mark Zeno, ESPN.
Oh, I want to see what Zeno says.
So much has been made of your time in Cleveland with your relationship with the quarterbacks that you've had. And obviously, you're going to be charged with developing a young quarterback here in Atlanta. How do you go about making sure that Michael Penix and his success here are long-term and the philosophy you have for developing a young quarterback?
That's a good question, Mark. I think player development I'm a maniac about it. I'm just crazy about development of our players. We want to be a very intentional group when it comes to developing players. Obviously, the quarterback position's at the forefront of that. So we've certainly, I've been able to be exposed to different quarterbacks, whether it's, rookies or 40-year-old Brett Favre, 40-year-old Joe Flacco. So I've seen a bunch of different guys at that position, and I think it's our job as coaches to put structure around them, to put a curriculum together in the offseason to get them up to speed in whatever areas, to give them very specific things that we are going to work on together so that they can improve. I think one thing you'll find from our coaches is there'll be specific things that they are working on with the players on a daily basis. And I just believe being intentional about it gives you the opportunity to have development on the other side.
Go Brandon Leak on your left.
How you doing, Coach? Brandon Leak, Sports Radio 680 The Fan. Welcome to Atlanta. Good luck.
Thank
you. Your position on some of the tough lessons you learned in Cleveland, a couple of trips to the playoffs, but some seasons where you didn't. Some of the tough things you learned in Cleveland that will, you think, make you better or enhance you as a coach. And for Matt, not just from the president's lens, but from a quarterback's lens, you outlined some of the strengths you think Kevin has. What would you like as a quarterback that you think will be beneficial for your quarterback with Kevin as the coach?
You want to go first?
You can go.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm a constant learner. I hope I have a growth mindset where I'm going to get better at my job, whatever it is, whether it's being a dad or being a husband. I want to get better every single day. I don't feel like I'm a finished product. So I think all of the lessons learned in Cleveland, in Minnesota, and my time there, I take all of that with me. I take all of it. There are things, of course, you get out of every game and sometimes you wish you did something different. There's things, big picture, maybe you wish you did something different. I think it's just so important that you reflect on those, and I've done that, and find ways that when presented with similar situations, you take all those learnings with you. Again, doing this is, I believe, my 20th year in the NFL, and I hope if I'm not learning, I'm not doing my job. I have to learn every single day that I'm doing this job.
Maria Martin on your right.
Yeah, I think from the quarterback's perspective, you look at it in the positions that you get put in. I always valued the run game and the ability to run the football and some of the pressure that takes off of you, specifically as a young quarterback. I think back to my experience as you talk, and we hear questions about Penix. Some of those early days as a young player, the ability to hand the ball off to a guy like Michael Turner, really solid physical offensive line, the way they played up front, and then using the play action pass off of that. I think those are all tools to help develop a young player. I think that's a strength of Kevin's. I think that's a strength of the staff that's coming in. So I think that's important. I think the other thing it does is it helps with pass protection. When you run the football well and you are not one-dimensional of just sitting back there, letting defensive ends, letting defensive tackles pin their ears back and rush, it slows down some of that. So if you can mitigate pass rush, you can mitigate some of the opportunities of sitting back there and dropping back and having to throw it 35, 40 times a game on straight drop back. I think that helps young player. And I think that's something that Kevin, both in his time in Minnesota and in Cleveland, has done a good job of.
Maria, on the right side.
Coach, welcome to Atlanta. Maria Martin, 11 Alive News here in Atlanta. So when you're retaining Jeff Ulbrich as the defensive coordinator, in your first conversations with him, aside from shaving the beard, what impresses you about his defensive philosophy, and why was it important to keep him here?
Well, I have a ton of respect for Coach Brick. We, again, similar, I was talking about with Coach Callahan, we don't know each other personally, but we know a lot of people in this business. And the way they talked about him and the way they talked about how he teaches and how he gets the most out of his players, there was a very easy conversation with Coach and I about how we saw this game of football and how demanding we are of our players. And then just watching the tape, some of the things that he was able to do this season with some of our young players, it was really exciting. So early on, we got on the horn, and it was obvious to me, and I think it was obvious to him. We really hit it off, cut from the same cloth, if you will, from a football perspective. But can't tell you how excited I am to have Coach Brick with us.
Josh Kendall, followed by Terrence Moore.
Hey, Kevin, Josh with The Athletic. You speak a lot about the run game. What are your thoughts about Bijan Robinson?
He's good. Yeah, I love Bijan. I spent some time with him. When I first got hired, I think I sent him a very late text message. Sorry, Bijan. But just I couldn't wait to talk to him. Spent some time with him in Flowery Branch in the locker room, just catching up. He's a special person. I'd start there. This is a special person that everybody told me about, but then I got to see for myself what type of person he is, and he's team-oriented. He's an intelligent player, and there's no shortage to what he can do with the football in his hands, and that's our job as coaches to find ways to get that ball in his hands.
I don't know what your draft position was 3 years ago or whatever, but how much prep did you do on him at the time, and what did you think of him just as a running back? Just as a physical
quite honestly,
prospect?
did not do much on him. I don't believe he was somebody that we'd have a chance to get.
Terrence Moore, Forbes.com. And Kevin, how much were you involved in personnel decisions in Cleveland, and how involved will you be with personnel decisions with the Falcons? And Matt, you can answer that question too.
Sure, Terrence. It's my job to tell our GM, to tell Matt what I think of a player. It's my job to tell them the fit of the player in our offense, our defense, our special teams. I'm a partner. I want to collaborate and give my opinion. But ultimately, I trust the people in those type of positions to pick the players. As a coach, I want to develop our players. I want to get the absolute best out of our players. And I know Matt and I have talked about that collaboration, how it works really well in buildings and making sure that everybody is aligned on that. But I really, from my perspective, I want to give the fit part of the answer to those type of questions.
Okay, Sam Crenshaw on the aisle to the right.
Sam Crenshaw, CBS Atlanta, and 92.9 The Game. Welcome to Atlanta, Coach.
I feel like we should be saying where the players play
just
right
said-
after
go-
you say
go
it
ahead,
every
go right
time.
ahead.
Just
Feel free.
Where the players play.
There we go. You mentioned your excitement about the opportunity here, and you obviously know about Bijan, but my question is this. I
Matt-
know your main focus has been Cleveland, but how much...
Matt's giving all the sprinkles of the culture right now. He ain't seeing it. Kind of feels a little opposite of what we were used to from our former head coach
The past.
in his introductory press conference.
This season, you've got
In my initial thing about him, I said he knows the Falcons. He knows football, and he knows the Falcons.
but other respiratory illnesses
So
are still out
that,
there. If you're 50 or older,
that's
even
going to
if you're
work in
healthy,
his
it may
favor if
be
he
important
uses
to
it correctly.
Let's see. God, man.
We feel like we can help our players, of course. That's our job as coaches. But previous seasons really won't affect how we coach this football team moving forward.
Steak, back left.
Hey, Coach. Steak Shapiro, 92.9 The Game. You talked about wanting to take the job. A lot of it's Matt Ryan and Arthur Blank. How much of the roster, can you go a little deeper into this roster? How prepared were you to talk about it prior to the interview? How deep did you go about it? And then now that you've been the coach for a little while, so a little more detail on why you think this roster is one you wanted to inherit.
Very excited about the roster. And when you go on a visit or or a Zoom, whatever it is, you do your homework on teams. And like we mentioned, you do your homework on the staff and those type of things. But when you look at this roster, I think there's really good young players at some key positions. I think there's some veterans that have played excellent football over the course of their career. So, Bijan comes to mind as a good young player that I can't wait to get to work with. But if you look up and down the roster, there are players that I'm excited to coach and get the best version of them. There are no perfect rosters in the NFL. It just doesn't exist. There's always things that you want to improve or change, if you will. So certainly we'll go through the player acquisition period, and there will be some new faces and those type of things. But incredibly excited to coach some of these players on this team.
He doesn't only cook the steaks, he keeps you hydrated as well.
We talked a lot about servant leadership, and Arthur, you were putting that on display.
All right, we'll go Luke straight back on the camera stand.
Coach, directly in the back. Luke Patrick, Channel 2 here in Atlanta. Welcome. Question for both Kevin and Matt. Kevin, I know you didn't want to talk too much about personnel, but when you've seen on tape what has stood out about Michael Penix Jr. in his first 2 seasons, and then for Matt, you talked at your introductory press conference about the hierarchy with president of football, GM, head coach. Bob Quinn gets hired as senior advisor. What is his role going to be when it comes to that collaborative process for you guys moving forward?
Well, I'll start with Bob. Bob is Kevin's senior advisor, and that's a setup that has worked for him.
Man, hold on a minute.
What we're trying to do.
Did you just see Mr. Blank toss that water to Matt Ryan?
And the general manager to allow them to be successful. That was something that we talked with all of our candidates about, of what is the best.
Maybe Mr. Blank needs to go out and play quarterback for the first couple of weeks.
For success. So that's Bob's role with us.
Michael, again, just excited about the physical gifts. What's most important right now for Michael is to get healthy. He knows that, and we'll get to football here shortly, but he's attacking his rehab. I think you see a player on tape that can get through progressions, can layer the ball, can push the ball to all areas of the field. Obviously was very productive in college, has had some really, really, really good moments here in the pros. So I just see a young player that will continue to develop and continue to get better.
We'll go Taryn back left.
Hello, Taryn Walk with AtlantaFalcons.com. Kevin, you were able to find success with the Browns in just your first season. What is the key to that quick turnaround that you can bring here to Atlanta?
Thanks, Taryn. It's a good question and something Matt and I have talked about. To succeed in this league, you succeed with people, and you have to have the right people. And that's about putting the coaching staff together. That's about putting this roster together and the guys in that locker room and making sure everybody knows exactly how you're going to play football. I think that's something you'll hear from me and from our players. We're going to know who we are. We're going to know the identity from which we play. And I think making that clear on the front end gives you a chance to have success in the fall.
Go Jay Busby on your left, followed by Ken.
Kevin, Jay Busby, Yahoo Sports. Following up on that, you mentioned that the team's going to be starting up practice in April. What has been your message as you've contacted each player? What have you said to them? What tone have you set as you spoke to each player?
I just want to get to know our players. As we know, and I think Matt mentioned it, good football teams are connected. Good football teams care about each other. And I want to just get to know our players. When my position, when you're asking your players to do some of the things we're asking them to do, they have to trust you, and they have to know that you have their best interest in mind. So that's just part of getting to know our players, starting a relationship with them.
Ken on the left.
Ken Segura with the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. I think there were a lot of fans that were concerned about the way things ended for you in Cleveland for the last 2 seasons. What can you say to assure them that that isn't your work,
Sure.
that you're capable of doing better?
Sure. I appreciate the question, Ken. I would tell you I've learned from all of my seasons in this football, in this game of football, if you will. Something I've told Matt, there's a quote I love where smooth seas do not make skillful sailors. And I think it's something that's important, as all of us understand. Some of those tough moments are going to make us better. I'm so excited about what we're doing at the Atlanta Falcons in 2026 and what we're going to be about. And I know this, you're going to get the best version of me as we get going here. You're also going to get somebody that's going to grow every single day that I'm in this profession. Somebody that I'm going to push myself. I'm going to have a staff around me that's going to push me.
Yeah, Georgia, Texas boy.
We're going to put our heads down and we're going to work.
Back right, Michael Cunningham.
Hello, Kevin. Michael Cunningham at AJC.
You and Matt both have been emphasizing the importance of the run game. Here in Atlanta over the years, they've favored mostly in a wide zone scheme. Is that something you're in favor of? And also, what's your overall philosophy on running the ball?
Sure. So I do believe in running the football, and that's something that Matt and I
run the fucking
know
football
is valuable in this league. But we also know that there's a lot of work that goes into running the football, and that's from a roster standpoint, that's from a schematic standpoint. Yes, wide zone football is something that I believe in. You also have Coach Callahan here, and Coach and I, when we got together there in Cleveland, really balanced two worlds of wide zone football and some gap football, and I think that's a really good place to start when you're talking about run game. I do believe you can't be good at everything. I don't believe you can be so diverse that you're trying to live in every single world. I think you have to hang your hat on specific things. And I think Coach Callahan, as you get around Coach Callahan and Tommy Rees and hear them talk about their run game, they can kind of give you a picture of what that can look like.
Got time for a few more, Garrett Chapman?
Got one guy in the comment writing everything in
Coach,
caps.
this team was very aggressive in going and getting fixing the edge rush last offseason.
You know who that is?
Jalen Walker and James Pierce Jr.
Yeah, very, very talented young men.
Yeah, we all
to
know.
Coach both of them, obviously.
Okay.
Have talked to Coach Brick about those guys in particular and how we can deploy them. And I think
what's going on,
what you've
everybody?
seen
How y'all
Coach
doing,
Brick
Mo?
do when
What's
you've seen around
up,
the league,
Georgia, Texas
with
boy?
What teams are doing with these
What's
elite
up,
edge
my guy?
rushers is really creating matchups. And I was around a pretty good edge rusher recently
Hey,
with
man.
Miles Garrett. who's
The
gonna
one
be a
thing
Hall of
that
Famer.
we can say so far,
He's a
he
nightmare
ain't
for
holding
teams
us
to
back.
game plan against. And
Mm-mm.
every
He's a
team
real
goes into it
straightforward
saying,
coach.
we can't let this guy wreck the game. And for us having some young players like Michael, like Jalen, guys that we feel like we can develop and get the best version of them, it allows you to have multiple guys that the team is trying to scheme against. James, excuse me.
Mark Zeno on your right.
Kevin, right here again. Mark Zeno.
Zeno with another question.
For both of you. The word vision has come up a lot.
Hey,
since this whole process
Zeno
has started.
been asking
You guys
some
have
good
clearly
questions.
outlined what the vision is.
Yeah.
How do you execute it? How do you get there? How do you arrive at it? I know it's a long process, but where are we in the steps process of executing the vision?
We're in the beginning. We still got another critical piece that we're going to add to this, here in the near future, which I think is going to be as important as either of the two of us. And so we're excited about that. And then it's
Man,
really,
if Michael Penix come ready before training camp, man, I think Michael Penix can really succeed in his offense.
But, from my perspective, how do you get started? You get started with one step.
Amen.
And it's solid step after solid step after
I
solid
ain't
step. We have
putting
an
no
idea of
talent
where
on
we wanna
nobody,
go.
but
The path to
Shadur
get there, one of the
didn't look
things
bad
Kevin has
with
talked
that
about is,
sorry line he had.
when you have the map and the terrain and the terrain differs from the map, you go with the
Man, y'all see, they
another thing.
they gave Shador a charity Pro Bowl appearance.
and adapt to those things. But you start.
It's business,
It starts
man.
with the
It ain't even
evaluation
had
of the
nothing to do with
roster. When our
nothing,
GM
man.
comes in, and
That's
Kevin's
business,
here, and
man.
I'm here, and we have the opportunity to go
I'm not
through
feeding
that.
into that.
It's a solid evaluation of our roster, where we're at, where we think pieces fit, where some pieces don't fit, and then we go along with the league calendar until we get to the OTA phase.
Justin Feller on the
I agree. I concur. Stamp that.
Hey, Justin Felder from Fox 5 Atlanta. This question's for Matt. Was there a moment, something Kevin said, a feeling that you had in the interview process where you started to think or you thought, okay, this is going to be our guy?
I think, it's not one specific thing. I think all of us went into this with a really open mind of trying to find who's the best person to take this football team and this organization forward. We had a number of different metrics that we were looking for. And sometimes you have a good feeling after an interview or a discussion, and then you go back and you look at your notes and you take a look at some of the metrics that you find important and how they stack up. But I would say more important than anything was the reference work that we did. And as impressive as Kevin is, and as much as I enjoyed the conversations that we had, the reference work, not only by myself, but the entire research committee of going through and talking to former players, talking to former coaches, talking to different people around the league that knew Kevin from different stops along the way, it all started to line up. And I really think that was the biggest thing. The feeling that we were getting was matching up with the reference work that we were doing. And so That was more where I felt like things started to align.
Brandon Lee.
Coach, you've had good success when you've had good quarterback play, but I was wondering your philosophy on the tight end. You have been a quarterback whisperer when you've had the veteran quarterbacks or good quarterback play. I wonder if you consider yourself a tight end whisperer, and what do you think about Kyle Pitts with a very big decision on him coming up at the end of the season?
I wouldn't say whisperer. I'll say aficionado. How about that? I love the position. I coached it. It was my first position to coach on the offensive staff was tight ends there with the Vikings under Coach Zimmer. I love the position because of the versatility that it provides in offense. And you've seen it around the league. This is nothing new or earth-shattering, but tight ends that can line up all over, make life hard on a defense, and where you can line them up outside, in the backfield, in line, you name it. We love versatility of that position. Obviously, Kyle's somebody that we'll talk at length more about when it comes to those type of roster conversations, but the position itself is something that we feel really very strongly about.
So Mike Bell, far back left.
Mike, tonight the game. Were you surprised by Mayfield's comments about you coming to Atlanta?
Oh, here we go.
Twice a year.
Here we go.
Yeah, Baker's somebody that I have a ton of respect for as a player and a person. I love.
Shout out to Mike Bell for asking the question.
The Falcons have a great rivalry. It's something that I'm excited about, but I would not get into the specifics of those type of things, other than to say I have a ton of respect for Baker as a player, as a person. That's a great
for him, and I'll see him 2 times.
Hey, less says
Matt,
more.
When Kevin mentioned that Tommy's going to be calling plays, was that something that you talked about with him in the interview process, and what's your kind of comfortability with that, and how that kind of came about?
Yeah, yes, certainly something we talked to all of the candidates that we spoke to about their vision for building a staff, maybe some of the ideas that they had at certain coordinator positions, and certainly something Kevin and I have talked about. I've leaned in to the reference work we've done on Kevin, we've done on Tommy, and we're making sure that we're talking to the people who have been around him, not only in Cleveland but in his college stops, and what he is like as a coach. I think these are big hires and important hires for them, and you want to make sure everybody's seeing it the same way. And so we did a lot of reference work on Tommy and feel much like Kevin, very strongly about him as a young coach and what he can do, and agreed that he's inexperienced when it comes to play calling in the NFL, but he's very experienced at calling plays.
D-Led on the front left.
Yeah, Coach, I'm sorry, I failed to introduce myself. D. Orlando Ledbetter of the Atlanta Journal-Constitution.
You get the first crack, and you can't even remember to introduce yourself.
And Matt, have you?
Good work, D-Led.
have you?
Man, get this dude up out of here. He's starting to
in the NFC South. After. Have you got him up to speed on the Saints being the Steelers, Browns, and the Battle of Ohio, where he's coming from?
Absolutely, and again, I'm a NFL fan. I love this sport. I grew up watching every.
Bullshit! Say it right now. Fuck the Saints. Say it right now. Damn it.
Rivalry is with us and the Saints. Obviously, Kellen Moore is a good friend of mine, and
nah, fuck all that.
When you've been doing this long, you're going up against a lot of your friends in this business, and you can be friends with them for 363 days of the year, and for those other 2 days, you're competing like crazy.
Go back to Jay Busby.
Jay Busby, Yahoo Sports. Matt, this is for you. This year we saw a number of teams change head coaches and go from single-digit wins to playoff bursts. What is the organizational expectation for that kind of rapid turnaround in Atlanta?
I think it's putting your
y'all
head down
still
and
there?
Work as Kevin said. The expectation is
Yeah,
to always win.
yeah.
Okay.
There's no doubt about that.
Yep, still here.
Part of what we've talked about is how do you get there, and I think my expectation is that we come to work with the right mindset every day, and we focus on the things that we need to do in order to get the results that we want. Very process driven. I was as a player. And I will be in this new role as well. I think when you take care of the process and you get that right, everything else starts to fall into place. So the expectation for me, for Kevin, and for everybody in our building is to come in with the right mindset every day and to get to work.
Go to the back left and stay with Luke.
Hey, Coach, I'm not sure how many times you played the Falcons in the past in your role, but when the outside looking in as Atlanta, as an NFL town, as a franchise, as a team you went up against, can you give some thoughts, maybe including going up against Matt, on what your perception has been on Atlanta overall as an organization and as a football town, the fans? What's your overall thought of Atlanta?
Steak, before you get to that, I've been telling them how good of a food city this is. And nobody's a better expert on the food scene here than Steak Shapiro.
Well, with that name, you better be.
Shout out to Steak.
You got to go to Steak, all right? Where would you recommend? Hold on, I'm going to ask you a question, Steak. Give Kevin a recommendation here. Where should he head?
What part of town?
I think I know.
I go to Busy Bee across the street, Best Fried Chicken, Atlanta staple. Right after the press conference, bring the family, get a taste. It's a good meet and three. Do those guys know what a meet and three is?
I didn't know what a meet and three was until about year 4 with Mike
Right,
Johnson's buddy.
so-
John Parker Wilson told me what a meet and three was.
There you go. That would be my first recommendation for anybody coming to Atlanta. So, and then you could talk about the other stuff.
Okay.
What was
Sorry,
the
I just
question?
had to throw that out there.
What was the question?
I think the question is the outsider's perspective of going against the Atlanta
I'm getting hungry.
Falcons.
Yeah, this is a special town, and again, growing up as a fan of this game, that helmet to me.
Man,
is
I
really
was
is.
convinced Steak
Growing
was
up
going to
watching,
recommend Chops as
some of the
number
players
one.
in this building.
But hey, I guess he's still new here, so you got to go basic. You got to go near where the
Getting
current
educated by
location
Matt
is.
and by our group on what this city is all about, and how the passion that they have for this team is real. It's real. And it's rooted in the history of this team, and it's rooted in the desire to win. And that's something that just perfectly aligns with how I see this business.
Luke in the back.
Hey, Coach, question for you. In the past, you've talked about organizational structure and the importance of that. Matt is new in his role. It's a newly created position. Based on the candidates that have come in so far for general manager, it might be someone that is new in that role as well. How much did that impact your decision? How much of a conversation was that for you going through this process?
Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, Matt being here was a draw for me. That's why, a big part of why I wanted to come here and work with Matt. I think organizational structure, you can talk as much as you want about that. To me, do you have the right people, and do you have common goals? And I would answer that we do.
Got time for one more, Allison.
Hey, Matt, this is for you. I remember Arthur Blank was talking about trying to land planes at the same time, and you guys are the only ones that have a GM job open. So why has it taken you so long to land a GM, and how much is Kevin involved in that, trying to find one?
Yeah, air traffic control told us to slow down. I think that was it, But no, I think, as much as we want it, starting the process of getting out in front and making sure that we had lists put together for candidates in both spaces. Ideally, you'd love to land it at the same time. But given the pace of the head coaching search, and given, like you said, there only being one opening at the general manager position, I think it made most sense for us, to kind of compartmentalize the two. I feel like we're in a really good space in terms of where we're at in the GM search. I feel like our process has been really good. I think we've made really strong progress, and still feel like we're in a space and a time frame, where we can accomplish everything we need to accomplish given the league calendar.
All right, thanks everyone. We're going to wrap real quick, move the table, and have a quick photo op.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Good to meet everybody. Steak, I'll see you
I'm trying to see what this photo op's going to look like real quick, though.
Hey, man, I like that our head coach, he was straightforward. Like, he ain't hiding.
Man, and another thing, too.
Every question.
Man.
Straight up.
Matt was essentially trying to tell him, hey, you need to loosen up a little bit. Because, man, Stefanski was just straight business.
But maybe that's what we need.
That is, shit.
Who come in.
Oh, someone's got to get that red helmet up in there, too. Man, look at Mr. Blank. He's still got the pimp suit on. like he ain't even changed out of it. He's still ready to go seduce you.
Mob
Hey, I'll cook.
boss got his chain on.
Shit. Hey, I'll cook you another steak, baby.
And I understand people are going to be upset about the Tommy Reese thing, but it's like if the head coach got faith in him, and then my whole thing is like, I know it was a publicity stunt, but if Shador got accepted to the Pro Bowl, that means that the offense had to work.
I mean, shoot.
And you know what's crazy
that was a
about
charity
it, though?
thing though with Shador.
People, but wait a minute now. We got to make our minds up, right?
Man, but
as a whole, we got to make our minds up. The dude made the Pro Bowl, right? Let's just take it for what it is. Let's don't read into it. He made the Pro Bowl for whatever reason. The Falcon fans has a knack of downplaying a lot of stuff, right? And sometimes, man, you just gotta accept what it is.
I'm gonna be
and
honest.
Build on it.
I'm gonna be honest with you, okay? And I'm fully
Okay.
see. I'm gonna be honest with you. The Pro Bowl in general, this ain't even necessarily taking a shot at Shador. The Pro Bowl in general is absolutely. I was talking about this the other day. Man, they're playing the Pro Bowl on a Tuesday night now when no one's going to be watching. It's a flag football game. That don't mean anything anymore to me. I don't, man.
Okay.
The Pro Bowl just doesn't matter to me at the end of the day because of what it's become.
Right. So listen to what you just said now. Okay. So you said it's not relevant to no more, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you haven't done it, but I've heard other discussions downplaying. But for the most part, I'm not going to watch it. I don't know who made it. I think Bijan and somebody else made it.
I think it was
I know.
It was like Lindstrom, I think, who made it.
Okay. So why would we downplay it? Man, you know, people are going to the Pro Bowl. Okay, great. But that's just a mindset, man. I'm talking about the mindset. And I was looking at the chat. I was making sure I was looking at the chat. And the only thing I said was, I told them, I said, look, y'all, we got company in here today. Let's don't show out. And these people talking crazy about the head coach before he even get a chance to do anything.
Tommy Reese, like, we don't know what. Okay, yes, Cleveland is bad, but if we're going off history, what hasn't been bad in Cleveland?
Well,
and then went somewhere else and been good.
Well, like I said, you have to look at. Sometimes things happen for a reason. Shador finally got to play. That he was the most controversial. I'm bringing his name because he was the most controversial of that whole get up. And just like I said, I don't know what Cleveland got for Flacco, but they traded him. So they had some kind of confidence.
The ownership did that. I feel like the ownership did that just to make sure they play the young quarterbacks. You get rid of the veteran in Joe Flacco.
Right, because Flacco don't really get hurt that much, so none of them other guys would have never had a chance to play really. So just you gotta look at it from that angle. And they up there, some of the people talking about get him out of here and all of that. And just because you say give him a chance don't mean you got your pom-poms out for him.
Because I was straight up. I don't like the fact that I heard out of his mouth Tommy Reese is going to be calling plays. But I mean, who the hell am I to judge? Tommy Reese might end up being a solid play caller. This is why I said those are the types of concerns they're going to get answered for me when the team takes a field in September and the season starts. But until now, man, I just got to go off what I know, but I also got to keep it glass half full. But hey, the press conference just wrapped up. What do y'all think? First of all, man, what do y'all think about Arthur Blank just sitting his ass like not wanting the attention? He just sat his ass off in the audience with the media and stuff, and there were only two
He's getting
seats.
what he's wanting.
It was Matt
Arthur Blank is
Ryan
getting what he's
and it
wanting.
was Kevin
Just like-
Stefanski. What do y'all think about
Just
that?
like Arthur Blank stated, he don't want to be the owner that gotta deal with the GM or the head coach. I want to be the owner. I sit back and I allow those who I put in this position to run this team. He's basically trying, in my opinion, to become a Robert Kraft. I don't have much say so, but I do got the right people who I want in charge to run this team.
Yeah, I'm not going to deny that. I feel like that, is definitely a way that you can approach it. So, but I mean, it makes this very clear to me. That at the end of the day, I'm not hating on Arthur Blank for not being up there. I mean, it's, this goes to show you Arthur Blank has a plan, and props to him for. I mean, this is the first time in Falcons history that it legitimately feels like Arthur Blank. There's no Rich McKay around. Arthur Blank has picked his guy in Matt Ryan to lead this thing, and he's sitting back and watching what happens. Why do you think the Dallas Cowboys haven't won shit in 30 years? Because Jerry Jones wants to be in the center of everything.
Hey, Chandler.
What up?
I got to take this call, but I'm gonna be listening, but I got to
Okay.
take a call. I'm going to put myself on mute.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
So, I mean, yeah, it ain't like you necessarily... It ain't a bad thing that he was up there, but that's just something I noticed. But I mean, yeah, a lot of the questions from Kevin Stefanski, man, it was the complete opposite of Raheem Morris's introduction press conference 2 years ago. I mean, completely.
It felt different.
It felt different.
Completely
It
different.
felt complete business until and man, you could I was saying it. Matt was telling this dude, "Hey, you gotta loosen up a little bit. You gotta loosen up. Like, hey, you a little too much all about business." But that ain't a bad thing.
That, in my opinion, that shows that the head coach is ready to work. Like, he ain't here for that buddy rah. Listen, we here to get to work.
Yeah, body language is important, and I noticed that about Stefanski. It was very yes ma'am, no ma'am, essentially. Yes sir, no sir. It wasn't any of that with Raheem trying to poke fun and make little jokes under the table, and then your ass comes out here and has 2 straight seasons under 500 in the worst division in the league. It wasn't that type of energy. Now, I don't know how the fuck they're going to do on the field, but I can already tell you, I get an actual leader. I get a general mentality from Kevin Stefanski. Man, Raheem Morris wasn't no general. Raheem Morris wanted to be one of the guys. Kevin Stefanski understands his rank and understands where he is at, what his position is, and that there's a seriousness to this position. That don't mean that Kevin Stefanski's going to make all the right decisions. I don't think Tommy Rees should be calling plays, but at the end of the day, that's just one of the things. I'll give it a chance. I don't think it's going to work out, but I'll give it a chance. I hope it does.
I also like the fact that once he explained that Tommy Rees was going to be the OC, he explained why he wanted Tommy Rees to be his OC. Wasn't no, well, he worked under Sean McVay, so we're expecting him. No. He came out with a game plan and a valid reason why he wants Tommy Rees as his OC.
That was the thing, not just with Raheem, but with Arthur Smith even as well. A lot of this, the reasons why they did what they did with both those guys was because, I knew the guy. I had a connection to the guy. At least Stefanski gave a solid, concrete reason. He described some of the things and the things that give him confidence in Rees. It wasn't just this, I know him. That's why we signed this player. Or, he's my homeboy. That's why I made him defensive coordinator. It wasn't any of that. They talked about the process that they went through.
Yep. And I also like how he was talking about Kyle Pitts, giving us the possibility that Kyle Pitts could be coming back.
Yeah, but I mean, they also said at the same time, like they said even about Kirk Cousins as well. Those are, I mean, he said straight up about Penix. He's getting after in his rehab. We're excited about him, about Kirk. You know, we'll see where it plays out. But see, the one thing, and I do want to go over this. I know OG's on the phone. The Falcons have their 2 finalists for general manager, and we'll probably know who a general manager is by the end of the week. It's down to.
I said in the chat for the press conference, I think that our GM will be here by Friday. We will know something by Friday. I think as soon as this press conference is over with, they're finna start the in-person interviews, and we'll know, because isn't the Senior Bowl this week or next week?
It's this week.
Yeah. So I think by Thursday or Friday, we would know who the GM is.
I wouldn't be shocked if we know later today. And I don't know if I'm going to go live again if we announce our GM later today. But, I mean, listen, these are the we got Cunningham and we got James Lipford from the Texans, who went to Georgia Tech. Those are the 2 finalists.
And I can see, in a way, both those guys come in. You make Ian Cunningham the GM. You make Letford the VP.
See,
or you make Josh Williams the VP, since he has a deep background in scouting, whether it's pro or college, and you still make Ian Cunningham the GM.
See, the only thing about that, though, is like, at that point, it kind of, because, I mean, this is another thing, too. Bob Quinn, who is going to clearly be in there, is essentially the voice for Kevin Stefanski. I'm telling you, the only risk with that you run is the risk of too many hands in the kitchen.
Yeah, I was thinking that too, but then I can counter that with everybody complaining about Matt Ryan being inexperienced to be president of football. My entire staff is experienced. We know who's going to be calling the shots when it comes to the personnel, the GM. We know who's going to be calling the shots when it comes to the roster. I need experienced minds from top to bottom to help this team. Though one thing that we don't have, think about it, all these guys who we view for GM, damn near all of them work for the Eagles. All of them work for the Ravens. Some of them work for the Chiefs. Some of them work for the Patriots. Y'all all came from proven franchises. That's my only reason for saying we could hire 2 of these guys. You got Josh Williams, who spent 20-plus years with the 49ers. Why wouldn't you bring 2 of these guys in to build your front office?
I'm not arguing that necessarily. It sounds good, but still, you run the risk once again, because then it's almost like a situation with, you know, it's almost like putting in a parlay. That's the best way I can describe it. You know, when you put in a parlay, you got a 2-3 leg parlay, and you know you got less legs to worry about. But then when you put 4, 5, 6 legs in, then you know that becomes more legs that you got to worry about, and you know more legs that you know they could diverge, they might not hit. You know, more. See, the thing is this, sure, you want different ideas, you don't want different visions. And the more guys you bring in here, the more you might get guys with different visions. And that ain't good for this football team.
Yeah. I see what you're saying right there. Yeah. I hope we get it right. So far, I love the hirings to the coaching staff. I like the retentions. Like, I'm glad that we brought back majority of the defensive coaches. We still don't know about Rudenberg yet, whether or not he's going to take the Tennessee Titans.
Oh, yeah, he might become the defensive coordinator over there. But, yeah, I love Nate Ollie's going to be back.
Yes. Nate Ollie, and I like that Justin Hood, the secondary coach, is coming back.
Yeah.
I like that.
Man, it's like
Huxtable,
I say.
Dave Huxtable, he has been here through 2 head coaches. 2 or 3 defensive coordinators, and he still got a job. Because remember, he came in with Ryan Nielsen.
Man, you don't even got to worry about this defense, man. Just, hey, Ulbrich showed you that he's got this defense. So man, just put faith in Ulbrich. But man, I'm gonna be honest with you. The Atlanta Falcons, for the first time in many, many, many decades, it feels like the 2026 Atlanta Falcons, if they're going to win, are going to be a defensive football team. This team, because man, listen, with the uncertainty at quarterback, and once again, I'm not a big fan of Tommy Rees calling plays. Now, Tommy Rees might do all right calling plays. I'm just not a fan of it. Maybe it was all Cleveland. But see, I'm not going to find that out until I see this team out on the field. But if the Atlanta Falcons are going to win in 2026, it's going to be because of the defense. This is a defensive football team.
Could Kevin Stefanski be building us in the mode of an AFC North team? Defense and run the ball first?
Yeah. I mean, that's sure as hell what it looks like. What do you think Cleveland was his entire tenure over there? And why do you think he retained Jeff Ulbrich? He had Jim Schwartz. Man, Cleveland is so bad in the dump right now, they're just going to elevate Jim Schwartz as head coach. Just to keep that defense there. Because that defense is the only thing that can even win them games.
That's it. You don't have 4 or 5 head coaches say, no, I'm all right. I'm going to go elsewhere. Man, so what are your thoughts about Joe Brady becoming the new head coach of the Bills?
Man, listen, honestly, I'm just being honest. This is kind of a situation we were talking about. You wait too late, you might end up having to settle. I feel like Buffalo settled, and they're going to regret firing McDermott.
Oh, yes. But I can see the continuity, like you just basically just took your offensive coordinator and made him head coach because that was their last 2 options, Joe Brady or Brian Dable. So you was either bringing in your old OC or the new OC to be head coach. And then once they announced Joe Brady, now Brian Dable is about to be the OC for Tennessee. And that still leaves the Raiders, the Browns, and the Cardinals. The 3 worst franchises.
Don't no one want them jobs. Man,
Kubiak, real quick, and I'll come right back on.
All right. Man, Kubiak might end up staying up in Seattle, if that's the case. Because, I mean, shoot. You look at these 3, he might take the Raiders job if they offer him like $20 or $25 million a year. But Seattle's got a really good case to actually keep him around now, even if they do win the Super Bowl. But y'all just heard it earlier. Kevin Stefanski, the new head coach of the Atlanta Falcons, speaking with Matt Ryan, the president of football. Make sure y'all hit the link. Like, comment, subscribe, and share out. All the support is greatly appreciated. Let me know what y'all are thinking. We'll be on here a little bit longer. Maybe you're on your lunch shift right now. Whatever. Hit the link for a couple minutes. Join the conversation. Kevin Stefanski, during his press conference, one thing that obviously stuck out to me, he was super locked in. Matt Ryan almost had to get him out of his zone a little bit, talking, chopping it up with Steak Shapiro about Atlanta Eats, and some of the fine establishments around this great city. And so you definitely, listen, this goes to show me, though, you're getting a guy that's all about business. Everyone's been talking about culture. Man, maybe you don't need a guy that's part of this. Maybe you need a guy that's going to come in here and is going to bring in a whole new culture and a whole new set of ideas. And that's what this sounds like. You didn't see any rah-rah shit. You didn't see any, shine with really no substance behind it. You saw thorough, decisive. It was a little bit boring to listen to, but it was all about business. It was a clear-cut sales pitch. actual concrete answers as to why they were doing things. So that's just what you need in for this Atlanta Falcons team. Because, I mean, we've, obviously just came off of a head coach that, he really didn't actually have any answers at all. He got up to the podium, especially after a loss, and, he just said, after every loss, we got to find a way. And he never found a way. You never got any of that, we got to find a way out of Kevin Stefanski. Kevin Stefanski knows his way around. He might not know his way around the city of Atlanta, but he knows his way around what he wants to do with this football team.
All right, I'm back.
Yeah. So, I mean, what do you think about all that, OG?
Well, like I said, I've been saying the whole time, I'm not really happy with the structure, the way they got it set up, because just a firm believer in until you establish yourself, you got to kind of, be a carbon copy of the traditional way. But Matt Ryan, I think he's gonna wear a lot of hats initially getting it off the ground. But I don't see what the GM coming in late. But like you were saying, they need to go ahead and get one, make it, figure out what they're going to do, and give him his duties. He probably going to wind up being almost like Terry was, man. Not the traditional GM. And then they probably all three of them going to work together. So I'm just waiting to see who they hire, and then I'll be able to see that vision.
So the vision is still, because I think there was a question about the vision actually, and they said still the vision is still in process. That there's
Right.
another equation to this vision that we still got to bring in here.
And I'm glad they said it like that too, because I was like, if he would have already knew what he was gonna do, I'd have been like, uh-oh,
Yeah.
Matt Ryan gonna be the GM and the president of football. So that was a good answer.
I don't
without
know. I don't.
all of this stuff
Yeah.
on the table yet.
I don't know if we talked about it, in what they said during the press conference about play calling now. But I mean, what you were saying is that you're not too worried about who he's going to hire as OC because you were under the impression Stefanski's going to call plays. What do you think now that it's been revealed Stefanski isn't calling plays?
Well, you got it. But see, here's the thing: he's bringing familiarity with him. He's not doing like Raheem did and brought a cat that he didn't really work with. I mean, even though they had their ups and downs, in Cleveland, it had to be a reason why he took over play calling duties from Tommy. Maybe he said, with all of the stuff they had going on offensively. And they had some distractions too. Didn't they have a couple of issues with Jerry Jeudy?
Nah, they ain't actually. I think they did. It was actually Stefanski handed over play calling to Tommy Rees.
Oh, he handed them to him.
Yeah.
See, that just lets you know I'm not really, I can't speak too much on that team. See, I thought they were saying that Stefanski took over the play calling. So are you telling me that Tommy called the plays towards the end of the season?
When Shador was in, yeah.
Well, I ain't want to say it like that, but yeah. So then that's a good thing. He gave him, you know what I'm saying? He gave him the driver. He put him in the driver's seat late in the season. But guess where our offensive coordinator was at the beginning of the season?
Up in the booth.
Up in the booth. Okay. Now you just answered your own question. I mean, you got to think about it. This guy said, "Look, here you go. Call these plays for the rest of the season." And guess what? That means that old boy didn't say, "Man, let's give this dude a chance, man. He done got some bad press, man." I think the man that got some bad press.
Who you talking about, Stefanski?
Yeah, I think he got some bad press, man. Because I thought he took over the play calling from my man. So he gave it to him when they brought Shador in. So he let him work with a rookie quarterback, a line that was suspect, decent tight end. You know, they had some good tight ends. Okay, running back room. So can we safely say that he's coming into a better situation talent-wise outside of the wide receiver room?
I mean,
from the offensive standpoint.
From the offensive standpoint, I mean, sure. Yeah, but I mean, you do have to consider though, Kyle Pitts is a free agent, Algier's a free agent, and you're going to want to come in here and rework this O-line, right?
That's why I'm a little bit ill about we don't have our GM yet.
So okay. All that is why I said the Atlanta Falcons are going to be a defensive football team in 2026. Our identity is going to be defense.
Okay, I'll go with that. But we're gonna have to put up some points.
Yeah, we're gonna have to put up points.
We gotta be able to put up some points, bro.
But it's gonna be about the defense.
Well, see, here's the thing that I've noticed about the evolution of all of the teams as a whole. Most offenses can score. If you give them the ball enough, they're going to put up points on you. Because from the kicking position, man, you got some boys out there now get some legs. A 50-yarder, that's a chip shot now.
Exactly. That's why, man, when Koo missed that kick week 1, you had to cut him. Man, a 45-yarder, that's a chip shot in today's NFL.
That's a chip shot. He would have never played for me this season. He would have been gone last season. 2024 season. Without a doubt. Because you look at these guys kicking now, man. A 40-yarder, you should be getting everybody ready to kick off. Hey, look, kickoff team, let's get ready to go out there. You know, you scared. You got your fingers crossed because Koo out there.
Yeah.
And then somebody already picked Lenny up.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Who?
Lenny gone.
Man, who picked him up? Because I didn't see that.
Let me look it up.
Man, I know someone picked Nash up too, but I didn't know that till like yesterday. That Nash actually, I think he's with Dallas or Washington or someone like that.
Man. Why would we do that and to develop this guy on the practice squad for somebody just to come in and scoop him up? And look, they scooped him up fast too, bro. They didn't even wait. We didn't even get a chance to.
Why? But this is why I told you. Right. This is how incompetent our former coaching staff and our former front office was. This is why they had to go. Because, man, you kept putting faith in guys like, and it ain't no disrespect to Sills, but you kept trying guys like Sills out there. And, I mean, hell, you kept Jamal Agnew even on this roster for most of the damn season. And that could have been a spot that went to someone like Blair. Or could have went to someone like Nash or someone like that. See, I would have actually really have liked to see Nick Nash if Kevin Stefanski could have gotten his hands on him. I think he could have fit in well. But see, the issue is when you have coaching and you have a front office that is incompetent and can't see it in these guys, that is also stuff that's going to get you fired. It may not be the primary reason, but it's a trickle down. That's why Kevin Stefanski is the new head coach of the Atlanta Falcons.